briefly share some thoughts that I'm having on this Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. I'm not really that patriotic. This is the hat that my daddy had. And so I wear it more so to honor him, not necessarily his nation. But I just want to really briefly touch on my views on the season finale of The Shine. Um, it was I I love the writing throughout the whole show. I love the wedding between where you going, Papa? Okay. I love the wedding between the father and the mother, and that he had got her a house, and he honored her request of how she wanted to get married. Um, that's that heavy flow. Um, I love um, the the dialogue, a lot of the dialogue. Where Otis said, if Victor is going to administer light, then someone has to minister darkness. And that kind of stuck with me. I actually caught myself using that phrase this week. And then I think he said that in the last episode, but he also kind of like piggybacked on it into the next episode. Then as soon as I want to go live, but when I work in live, not anymore. So anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by the punching bag, what was I saying? Oh, you didn't put the gloves on. Close the door if you about to punch on that punching bag. Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the dynamic between I can't think of these people's names, you know, on this show. Like I'm not like I wasn't really pulled in to remember the names, and it's crazy because I've watched all 4 or 5 seasons, and I still don't know these people's names. But the girl who was his wife, and she started dealing with the dude who sold the weed. I just love how she was able to be honest with him and tell him what was going on with her. Like I loved how she was able to share that, you know, and just open up about what was going on with her. When she tried to push up on her ex, like I live for that free communication, for that open communication, for and then the relationship that he have with the girl that he's with now, the one who had got kidnapped and raped and ended up you know having a baby for the one who raped her. And I kind of live for just just the honesty that's going on between them now. I was happy to see that the one who's running for office, who played in Star, I was happy to see that he decided to go ahead and live in his truth and to be with the girl, to be with the character that's played by Lorette. I was happy that that happened. But what triggered me in that was okay. So it kind of gave me like P Valley and The Shy. definitely feel like they was intertwined. I feel like there's less violence in the Shy in these new seasons than it was at first, and there was more violence in P Valley. But the Shy was kind of like really, really tame this season, and it was still killing, but it was less killing. And I think what triggered me about when he partnered with Lorette, or Lorette's character, um, what was her name? Fatima, I think. So when Victor ended up with Fatima in the show, because I do remember their names, but when Victor ended up with Fatima in the show, I kind of feel like I kind of feel like they made it about him, like, and I think it should have been about them. Like, I didn't like the way the camera panned at the end to focus on him, like, like I really didn't too much live for that. I didn't live for that pan on him. Like, it was such a beautiful moment to see how people was reacting, to see how, she really felt. And I just felt like when they did that tight zoom on him in the end and made it about him, it just kind of like, I don't know, it just gave me patriarchy. Like, it just gave me patriarchy. And that seems to be a theme with me in all of these shows, like, that are celebrating queerness. Um, it just feels like we're highlighting the stories of all of these, characters who just seem like they're in line with patriarchy because we find some way to run the Christian religion through all of these stories, and the Christian religion is monotheistic and it's patriarchal, in nature. And so I don't know, like, I feel like as much as we're advancing, it just feels like Deborah and Whitney, the same script, different cast. Like, it's just giving me very much that energy. Like, we're seeing um, different faces and, queerness and otherness, but it is still under the umbrella of this monotheistic patriarchal idealism, you know. And so I just, for me, that's that's a no for me. I enjoy seeing the stories. I watch them. I'm not putting them down. I'm not condemning them. I'm passing a judgment. Definitely not condemning though. And like I said, for me, it just feels like it all goes back to the brotherhood and this patriarchal idealism, and that just like how they zoomed in on him. Now he got her, and she's in the background, and it's still about him. He's still the centerpiece. It's still focusing on him. He has his trophy wife now, and she just happens to be trans, but it's still centering him. And so that part kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I just feel like with Uncle Clifford's role, even though Uncle Clifford represented, gender non-binary or gender queer, um, it it was still the same type of energy, um, that Father God energy. Like it was just a lot for me. So with all of these stories coming up that have been pulling me in, that have been about queerness, otherness, and using characters who I can see my direct ancestry in. Um, it's it's caused me to ask myself some questions and to just like really, really be and to just really, really just think about how I see myself my being at this point in time in my life. And I pause in between words because I really value words. And as I get older, I try to think more about what I'm gonna say versus just blurting, things out of my mouth that are emotion based. So I really want to think about what I'm saying. And I was telling, my partner the other day that it really honestly, and I think I told somebody else this. I think I might have told one of my chosen sisters this over the phone. But like um, I posted on Instagram and I posted on Facebook the other day a picture because we were celebrating our first month anniversary because we started talking on um, August the 3rd, and so September the 3rd, made a month. So, you know me, I like to document things. So, I went to documenting, some stuff and putting some stuff together to share. Um, and we took a picture today on the 3rd while we were out and about. And in the picture, he had his hand over my stomach, and with the weight gain and how full my face was, and just how the picture looked. It looked like I could have been pregnant in the picture, and I was like, but this would be a baby that I feel that the world doesn't deserve to need. And the reason why I say that is because the world does not have capacity for people who think different, for people who don't navigate this society or this reality in the same way that the majority do. Like we pretend like we're so progressive and we pretend like we're so open-minded, but even when it comes to otherness, that otherness still has to subscribe to a lot of things that have been harmful to us as a whole. A man, a woman. So like we'll accept otherness, but the otherness still needs to subscribe to extreme capitalism, elitism, bigotry. All of these things that have been the bane of this society's existence. And poor people's existence, and people of color, and people who have felt marginalized or disenfranchised, or whatever $20 word you want to use to express those of us who have felt trampled by this society, those of us who have felt treated unfairly, erased, or not even necessarily erased, but overlooked and underserved in this society. And so, and so I was in here thinking, because I always, they always say on the astral plane, we we chose, we choose ourselves. And I'm 45 years old. I'm gonna be honest with you. That was always something that kind of like stunted me because I could not understand why I would have chosen to be trans. Like why would like I can agree that I chose to make embellishments and I chose to enhance um, some features or some attributes, but I never felt like I chose to be born with the physical parts, you know, that are typically associated with manhood. So, in this relationship, it's crazy. Um, like I literally got the answer to this clear as day looking at the picture, and I felt like the ancestors was telling me that you did choose, you did choose this trans experience, and you chose it so that you would not be able to create in the way that you were comfortable creating. You know, you you knew that you weren't gonna want to bring life to You know, that was never a threat. You knew that you wanted to be the first feature because while the baby is in the womb, those 9 months, the child, the offspring is in the womb. They're being taught for those 9 months. And so while they're in the womb, the being who is hosting them is the first feature. And so it was already understood on the astral plane that if I could not be the first feature of the being that was coming, I'd rather not. If I could not make that first connection, if I could not be the portal, then I'd rather not. Mm, then I'd rather not. Because, and so I chose a different vehicle for my spirit so that I wouldn't be tempted to create and bring offspring into a reality that does not celebrate, respect, or have capacity for otherness because it is one-sided, patriarchal, and monotheistic in its belief. But the gag is it's a binary. But the binary is set up in a way that means we have to have a good guy and a bad guy, a superior and an inferior for that kind of binary. Not just speaking to duality, but speaking to good and bad, wrong and right, superior and inferior. This is how this binary system works, which is also kind of shady. If we would, but that's a conversation to unpack it another day. But the main point that I wanted to um, bring home in this video was that I literally figured out, that I did choose. I did choose to be trans. And, I do feel more connected to non-binary. And a lot of people say, well, how can you be non-binary when you have, titties and you have ass and you have hips and you have, you totally, transformed yourself physically. Well, I didn't change my voice. I've talked the same way since I hit puberty. Um, and I would like to say my consciousness or my thinking has expanded, but I don't lean to one side of the spectrum in thought. So while I feel more closely connected um, to the feminine side of the spectrum, I still tap into both sides. So being gender non-conforming for me is not about always looking androgynous or always dressing androgynous, but it's about holding on to those parts of yourself that society has tried to shame us into erasing, tried to shame us into removing altogether. And so, yeah, I changed the canvas, quite a bit. I made some changes with the canvas. But what comes from out of me, my utterance, the sound waves, the noise that I make when I speak, that's still authentically me and it's whole. So, I could be as physically feminine as I want to be, as long as I hold on to certain aspects of me that make me feel whole. But yeah, that's what I realized. I realized that I did choose this trans experience. Really, really powerful. You gonna stop while I'm online? I'm sorry. Really, Papa? You gonna fight while I'm on live? The camera is on me, it's not on you. But they hear you. They heard you fight, though. They heard you fight. They heard you fight on live. No, I was not making a video. I'm on live, and you fight it on the live. Thank you, Papa, for fighting on my live. Yeah. No, they didn't see you. No, it's you too. No, I'm not chatting. I'm doing a live video. And they fighting. And it was loud. And they heard you. So if you have to fight again, Papa. So if you have to fight again, if you have to fight again, fight over there. Just fight it. I was having this profound conversation, and you fight it in the middle of my life. But anyway, yeah, so I realized why I chose to be trans. And it was because I had been here before. I had already made children. I, and I didn't want my children to go through it again. You know, I just didn't want them to go through it again, so I chose the trans thing. And then I got rid of my period. Then I said, I don't need that. Got rid of that again. So you know what? I'm gonna be trans, but I'm still gonna get rid of this period because I still want to feel more like myself, you know. And that is the womb, the whole. People be saying I'm negative, and you know, people be saying I'm negative, or or I'm a zero, you know, and I really honestly see the positivity in all of that now because it takes negative space to create. Come on now, negative space. So negative space allows you to create. It takes a positive and a negative battery to operate a remote control. Period. What? How you say it? Honey got a man at home, and he's been good to me. I'm sorry that your man ain't home. It's such a shame yours left you alone. Don't you know how beautiful you are inside? Don't you let nobody go and steal your pride. Oh no, I understand, girl. It's not a good song. I got a man at home. You ain't know me. You ain't know me. Wait, come on. Let's do the instrumental. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, 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 hey,
Bluetooth
hey,
mode.
hey. Papa, why would you cut off the light? on your worst day. Get off my man cave. They love our love, want to see us rise. They want to see us rise. They love our love. They want to see us thrive. They want to see us thrive. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father. You made me whole. You heal my soul. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father. You made me whole. You heal my soul. Lay them. We both live on side her and him. It don't matter if you masculine or femme or masculine and femme. You could be both of them or just one of them or either one of them or maybe none of them. Just have fun with them. lay them, lay them. We both live on side her and him. Uh, 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 uh. They love our love. They wanna see us rise. They wanna see us rise. They wanna see us fly. They wanna see us. They wanna see us thrive. They love our love. Oh yeah. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father. You heal my soul. You made me whole. Shout out to both of my mamas, my twins, and my chose, my biological mama. Both of them birthday was yesterday. You know, they was born before Beyonce, but they all share the same birthday. So yeah, they love our love. They wanna see us rise. They wanna see us rise. Papa, Papa, come here. Come here, Papa. Come here, Papa. Come say hey to the people. Come say hey, Papa. You gonna be shady, Papa? Papa, you shady. You shady by on the camera, but you're not gonna say hey. You gonna say listen to my fart, but I'm not gonna show my face. That's shady, Papa. Papa, you shady. Shady, Papa. But you know he is a Gemini, and we shady. Shout out to Messy C. Congratulations on your wedding. Congratulations on your wedding, Messy C. Messy C in a building. I heard you. Come here, Papa. You find it again. You find it again. Nobody fucking playing with you.
You know what? You being petty. All right, y'all. We about to go. Jumping on to that shit cool. Keep spitting and turning. It's God, young Goku Lucalo, which means I'm a shadow. Got it? And if I am, you know. We in the room, girl. What is you talking about?